This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
And good morning. Happy Saturday morning to all of you. Let's make today a great day. We have it within ourselves each day to make the day the best it can be and to make the day great most often. Take the time, find something good in your life, or find a way to be kind to others. And that's a surefire way to make your day, hopefully, a great one. Well, there's a lot of great news in the Yankee universe right now. It has been an exciting and fun off season thus far. So, on our Yankees show today, and I won't take any comments today because I actually recorded this last night. But on the show today, what we will do is we will talk about the Yankees' recent signings, what's happened in the off season for the Yankees thus far, and project a little bit about what 2023 is going to look like. So let's get to that. The first big great news from last week, of course, was the Yankees re-signing Aaron Judge. That was huge. Now, he got a ginormous contract, 9 years. He's making $40 million a year. That's fantastic. I'm happy for Aaron Judge. My worry, and it's always my worry, the way the Yankees have operated for a long time now, is that they would use that contract as a way to then not address other areas of the roster that need to be addressed. The Yankees are baseball's most valuable team. I have said many times in many different venues on the website, Start Spreading the News, of course, that the Yankees should always use their tremendously large market and tremendously large financial base to acquire and build and develop the very best team possible. With the advent of the luxury tax, the Yankees, and I'm talking about their leadership, the owner and the general manager, have often talked a lot about the salary cap, the luxury tax. Now, wait a minute. You say there is no salary cap in baseball, and there isn't. But the Yankees have talked about the luxury tax in a way that's made it for them, handcuffing themselves a salary cap of sorts. They've been unwilling to go to a certain point with their salary for the team in order to address all of the things that need addressing. Now, I have an article coming up on Sunday on Start Spreading the News where I make the point that the Yankees have not been cheap. No, not at all. I mean, they always have one of the biggest payrolls. But they have found the way to be less spend thrifty, if you will, in certain areas to keep the team underneath that luxury tax threshold. And so instead of using their financial strength as a part of building the greatest team, they've used the luxury tax as a way to hold themselves back and not build the best possible team possible. We've seen that the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009. That was the last time that they really threw caution to the wind, went all in, and just acquired players who they felt would help them win a World Series. And it worked. And I did a series on the blog, and I've run it twice now, where I looked at all of the Yankees championship teams. And one thing primarily rings true. When the Yankees have been successful dating all the way back to Babe Ruth, it's because they've used their financial might to secure the best team possible. When they don't do that, they're holding themselves back. So my concern with the Aaron Judge contract, God bless him, let him get as much money as he needs and as he wants and as he deserves. Absolutely. I always want the players to get lots of money. But my worry was always that the Yankees would say, well, that's 40 million of our luxury tax cap space. And so we can't then get player X. But my dear friends, it looks like we might be finally to the point where we can put those worries behind us. Because on Thursday night, the Yankees went out and they signed the very best pitcher on the market, left-hander Carlos Rodon. Now, he has had 2 exceptional years. Here are some things I like about Carlos Rodon is, number 1, he's great. Number 2, he's a lefty. And number 3, he signifies to the Yankees, the players and their fans, that they are going all in. They're throwing caution to the wind and saying, we are going to go out and get the best players because we want this team to win World Series. And I didn't say the World Series. I said World Series, as if multiple World Series, not just one. But I'll be satisfied with one. I'd be thrilled with one. Let's win the World Series. Not us, of course. It's not me. I'm not on the Yankees. But let's watch the Yankees win the World Series in 2023. And then we'll worry about what happens next. I'd be very content to see the Yankees win the World Series in 2023. And if they don't win it the next year or even the year after that, you know what? I get it. But let's see them win a World Series sometime real soon. And I think they're on the right path. Rodon gives them a second lefty in the rotation. See, I believe that's critical. Something else I've shown over the years, and I've written about, and I've talked about, and I'm not the only one to say this, of course, but the Yankees do best when they have high-quality left-handed starting pitching and high-quality left-handed slugging bats. So now the Yankees have 2 starting pitchers, Rodon and Nestor Cortez, who are both very effective left-handed pitchers. And, well, that's what they need. That's great. That will help them win, I truly believe. So I think the starting rotation is under control. I think we're in great shape. Where I don't think they're under control yet and where they need to probably spend some more money is getting another left-handed bat. We'll talk about left-handed bats and the New York Yankees in just a moment. Let's do a quick commercial here. One of the great Yankees of all time was Roy White. Played on the Yankees from 1965 to 1979. And Roy White and I collaborated on a book called From Compton to the Bronx. It's the story of Roy White. It's his autobiography that I helped him write. And that book is going to be available very soon. It comes out in April. But right now, that book is available on pre-order if you go to any bookseller. So if you went to Barnes & Noble or you went to Amazon, you can pre-order From Compton to the Bronx, the story of Roy White. I promise you, it's an outstanding read. It's an outstanding book. I sent it to all sorts of publishers and writers and received a tremendous amount of positive feedback. Overwhelmingly good. And when you're an author and you send your work out to other authors, you sort of do it with a little bit of reticence, a little bit of reluctance, a little bit of worry. What if they don't like it? What if they don't think I'm a good writer? But the reviews came back overwhelmingly positive. Paul, love the story. Paul, it felt like I was sitting with Roy White, hearing him tell the story of his career. Did you know Roy White, when he was a kid, had polio? Roy White grew up in Compton, Los Angeles. And it came from a less fortunate childhood. And he overcame all that. When he was signed by the Yankees and he flew to spring training, that was the first time he'd ever been in an airplane. And when he played in the minor leagues in the South, he experienced prejudice and racism. It was the Jim Crow South. And Roy White, because he's classy and wonderful and a dignified human being, overcame all that to be a Yankee star. He then played with Mickey Mantle, Reggie Jackson, Thurman Munson, Roger Maris. He even hit fourth in the Yankee lineup behind Mickey Mantle. He was an all-star twice. In 1971, he spent an entire season without making an error. He still holds the major league record, tied with Bobby Bonilla, for the most sacrificed flies in a season. It's a great story. You know what happens in the holidays, Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever you celebrate, your birthday, the big day comes, you get some presents, hopefully, and then it's over. So why not give a present that will give some excitement on that holiday morning, and then also give some anticipation? Pre-order the book and say when it's printed, when it's published in April, you're going to actually get your present. You now have something wonderful to look forward to. I promise you, From Compton to the Bronx is getting phenomenal reviews. It's a great book. If you're a Yankee fan, if you're a baseball fan, if you're a fan of a story of a human being who became successful and overcame tremendous odds to become successful, then that's the book for you. From Compton to the Bronx. I'll put it up one more time. There's the cover. That's Roy White. It's Roy White's autobiography written with me. So, yes, I am very excited about that book. All right. We were talking about the Yankees lineup. Now, let's just go through quickly, position by position. This half hour goes much too quickly for me. At first base, the Yankees have Anthony Rizzo. They re-signed him this offseason, which I thought was a great move. I was very happy with that. He's a left-handed power bat who also makes good contact and who should improve because there won't be a shift next year. Second base is Gleyber Torres. He had a positive year last year, but 2 years ago, he did not. And if we were talking here last year, we would have said that he really has no trade value coming off a terrible year. So he's been hot and he's been cold. And even last year, he had months where he hit and he had months like August where he didn't hit at all. The Yankees need the good Gleyber Torres to show up. Shortstop is undefined right now, but it seems as though the Yankees will go with one of their two kids, Oswald Peraza or Anthony Volpe, which I think the odds are that Peraza gets the job and Volpe goes to the minors. Third base right now is Josh Donaldson. Now, here's the thing about Gleyber Torres, Peraza, or Volpe, and Donaldson. They all bat right-handed. So the Yankees have one lefty bat, that's Anthony Rizzo, and then a whole bunch of righty bats on the infield. They also have DJ LeMahieu, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Oswaldo Cabrera as the backups, three swing guys who could play multiple positions. I think that's too many guys who fill the same type of role. So I think of Donaldson, LeMahieu, Torres, Cabrera, and Kiner-Falefa, and maybe even Volpe or Peraza if the right deal comes along to deal and trade one of your absolute top prospects. Some movement has to be made there. You can't have this many guys. Now, Cabrera showed he can play the outfield, so maybe that means the Yankees take him off the trade block because he can fill multiple spots all over the diamond. But even of those other guys, you can't have that many guys playing second base, shortstop, or third base, or just second base and third base, or second base, third base, and first base. But they're all basically interchangeable in many regards. So if you were going to trade any of them, Gleyber Torres has the most trade value. The guy who would give them the most salary relief would be if they could move Josh Donaldson. Remains to be seen. Something's got to happen because there's a logjam there. But here's the other point, as I was saying. They all bat right-handed except Cabrera, who's a switch hitter, which is also another reason for him to stick around. Then we have left field. Last night, Friday night, again, this show is on Saturday, and even though I recorded this on Friday night, I'm saying last night, even though it means just now, the White Sox signed Andrew Benintendi, who played left field before he was hurt for the Yankees last year. I didn't think Benintendi was the answer. He's an average to slightly above average ball player. He does have pretty good speed. He plays a pretty good left field, and he does bat left-handed. He did check a lot of boxes, but he doesn't hit for power. And I think the Yankees, in addition to needing a left-handed hitter in left field, because it's the only other spot where they can get a lefty in the lineup, need a lefty who's got some pop. So I don't think Benintendi was the answer, but they need a left fielder. And we just talked about those surplus infielders. Maybe you can use one of them, or now a surplus pitcher like Domingo Germán or Clark Schmidt, who now rank as your 6 and 7 starters, to acquire a really good talent to play left field. But we don't know who that'll be yet. That decision, though, is going to show us once and for all, are the Yankees truly in 100%? I don't care if it's a player making gazillion dollars. I don't care if it's a player who's even a superstar right now, but is it a guy who projects to be a plus player? Is it a guy who is going to be a guy who pushes the Yankees forward, either with his unproven yet talent or because he is, a super talented baseball player right now in the major leagues? If they get that guy, and I think if he's a left-handed hitter who makes contact and hits for power and can play good defense, the Yankees will be in great shape, and they will have what looks to be a World Series contending team. In center field, they have Harrison Bader, who I didn't really like that trade at all last summer. I wanted Jordan Montgomery, a left-handed pitcher, to stay on the Yankees. I didn't understand why they traded Jordan Montgomery for a player, Bader, who was hurt and basically missed a whole month or two of the season. Made no sense to me. But in the playoffs, Harrison Bader played great baseball. He's one of the few Yankees who really did great throughout the entire postseason. Hit for some power, got on base, showed very good defensive skills. All right, I'm all in. In fact, I'd make him my leadoff hitter. The only problem with Harrison Bader on this team is he's a right-handed hitter. And right field, we've got the great Aaron Judge. Now, I've written this before. Aaron Judge, if he just has normal Aaron Judge seasons, at the end of these 9 years, is going to have the WAR that puts him among the top Yankees of all time. There's Ruth, Gehrig, and Mantle, whose WARs are all about 110 or above on Baseball Reference. And then there's the next few who are pretty close. DiMaggio and Derek Jeter. And Aaron Judge can break into the DiMaggio and Jeter class in overall lifetime WAR as a Yankee if he just has regular Aaron Judge type seasons for the 9 years. And I think he will. I also think he'll probably miss some time getting hurt because he has been a player who gets hurt. But let's not even go there today. But he's back. He's great. He's coming off a legendary season, and he is the heart and soul of the Yankees. He is their superstar. None of the guys I've mentioned yet are superstars, but Aaron Judge is, and he's the guy who's going to have to carry the team. He's the straw that stirs the drink, as Reggie once supposedly said. about himself a long time ago. It is Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge is great. And Aaron Judge has only one flaw as it goes to this team right now. He's a right-handed hitter. You see the point? You've got Rizzo and a bunch of really good, should be, right-handed hitters. That's why we need a left-handed hitter in left field. The DH, Giancarlo Stanton, is hot or cold or injured or not. He's getting older. I'm not confident he'll spend a full year without getting injured. When he's on, he's a tremendous hitter. The problem is he's been much too streaky since being a Yankee. Now, I'm not criticizing getting Giancarlo Stanton. When the Yankees got him, I was overjoyed. I'm like, yes, they're going for it. They got Stanton. He's the MVP. Yes, that's what the Yankees need to do. Hasn't worked out, but I was happy they were going for it. I'm always happy when they go for it. I'm always happy when they acquire the best talent that's out there and available. But he hasn't performed, and now he's getting older. And so when he's hot, he's great. When he's not, lately it's been a disaster. But the only problem with Giancarlo Stanton, even if he's hot, is he's a right-handed hitter. And then their catchers, Jose Trevino was the greatest defensive catcher in baseball last year, won the Platinum Glove. I mean, what a tremendous find for the Yankees. But he's not going to hit much. And Kyle Higashioka, the backup catcher, who the pitchers seem to really love throwing to, also doesn't hit much. So the catchers don't hit. And even if they did hit, there's only one problem. Yeah, they bat right-handed. So the Yankees have a whole bunch of good or better right-handed hitters all over the lineup. And guys who can really play good defense. Rizzo plays good defense. Gleyber Torres plays good defense. It's supposed that Peraza will play good defense. Josh Donaldson didn't hit much, or at least what he should last year, but he played good defense. Harrison Bader plays good defense. Aaron Judge plays great defense. The catchers play good defense. So it's a solid defensive team. That's great. But they just don't have enough left-handed hitting. That's the only area of weakness that I see. I didn't touch on the bullpen, you might say. He's not talking about the bullpen. Why isn't he talking about the bullpen? What's he hiding about the bullpen? Why won't he talk about the bullpen? The Yankee bullpen on paper doesn't look all that impressive right now. But that's one area of concern I don't have. The Yankees, their coaches, their scouts, their player development people tend to do year in and year out for a very long time now. They tend to do a great job, a fantastic job, putting together a bullpen, oftentimes with names of people no one's ever heard of. When the Yankees got Clay Holmes, who's probably going to be their closer, everybody said, who? Who's Clay Holmes? He turned out to be great until he got hurt. Now, that is one concern of the Yankees bullpen. They always, or many of them, seem to be great until they get hurt. And it seems like a lot of them get hurt. So we don't want that to happen. Absolutely not. So if the Yankees can just do their regular bullpen magic, I'm not concerned about the bullpen. Not at all. They'll figure it out. They've got a top starting rotation. Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Luis Severino, Nestor Cortez, and Frankie Montas. I mean, my goodness. That's probably the best five-man rotation in the game. A bullpen that'll take care of itself. Great defense all around, except we don't know what left field looks like. And really quality hitters all around, except that they all bat right-handed, except Anthony Rizzo. So one area of weakness left to address, and that's left field. If they can get the right guy, and I feel there's just a few boxes that they need to check. I want somebody out there that can play good defense. I don't like giving up hits and runs and extra bases because we have a poor defender out there. And I want the guy to be able to hit for average, not strike out a lot, and have some power. Maybe it's asking too much. But I think the Yankees do have, as we mentioned, some excesses in some various areas. There's some extra pitching. There are some quality guys who can play infield. And they do have some big names down on the farm. I'm not saying to trade your very best talent, but there are some impressive ball players still on the farm that could probably net them a quality left-handed bat really checks the boxes that I'm hoping check. And then I think the Yankees are all set. I think this could be a heck of a team. If they get the left fielder I'm dreaming of, the lineup would be Bader, the left-hander, whoever that is I'm dreaming of, Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, and then Gleyber Torres. Those are your top guys, your top six. The bottom three would probably be Donaldson and Trevino when he plays, or Higashioka, and then Peraza. I'd bat Peraza ninth. Just let him develop. If he's your shortstop, or Volpe, let him bat ninth. Go out there, play good defense. Don't worry about your bat. The rest of the lineup should take care of it. That's what I would do. But they need that guy. They need that left fielder. They need that left-handed hitting left fielder. Now, the Yankees like batting Judge second. So if you want to go Bader, Judge, the left-handed guy, Stanton, Rizzo, Torres, I'm okay with that. Lefty, righty, I'm okay with that. But you need that other left-handed hitter. And he's got to be good enough to be able to hit like right there, close to the center of the order. That's my point. Hey, sometimes with the holidays, you say, I need to give somebody something tangible. The idea of the Roy White book is great. Maybe I'll buy them 2 presents. I'll buy them the Roy White book so they have something to look forward to, but I need to buy them something that also they can hold in their hand. Well, this just came in the mail for me. Look at that. It's the Evie Awards. And guess what book right there? Number 1, first place, The Least Among Them by Dr. Paul Semendinger. That's me. You can still get this book anywhere books are sold. The Least Among Them, an award-winning book. It's gotten all sorts of great awards. It's gotten all sorts of recognition. The story of the 29 least known Yankee players, and then other stories, great stories about the Yankees. This is a book you don't want to miss. So this one you could give them and put under the tree, or by the menorah, or wherever you want to put your presents. And of course, there's my wonderful novel, Scattering the Ashes. Yeah, again, an award winner, as you can see right there. If you love stories about people and humanity and love and family and fathers and sons and baseball and running and faith and God and happiness and wonder, this is the great American novel. I don't know you, so maybe not, but I can almost promise that if you read this, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll find it to be an engaging, quick, fun, wonderful read. People love Scattering the Ashes. It's my novel, my first novel, and it's fantastic. Those are 2 great books to put under the tree or wherever you want to put your presents or to celebrate a birthday. I also have a great book of motivational passages. Impossible is an Illusion. Also worth reading. You need to be inspired. Read Impossible is an Illusion. My goodness, 30 minutes goes so quickly, doesn't it? I love doing the show, but I always have to look at that clock because there's so much more to talk about. Today, we talked about the fact that the Yankees look like they're going all in. Carlos Rodon at the top of the rotation. Oh, baby. I think the Yankees are going to have a great 2023. But there's one more piece, left field. Let's see what they do. Hey, thanks for watching. Remember, coming up right away at 8 o'clock is the Mac, Jack, Doc, and Philly Sports Guy debate show. For 2 hours, we'll discuss the great sports topics of the day. Until then, my friends, have yourself a wonderful day. Let's go Yankees. I can't wait till spring training. But until then, happy holidays.